Good morning, pre-AP Math.
I think it's evening for them.
Oh, good evening,
Good
pre-AP
evening.
Math. It's good morning for me and Miss Green today. Woo, okay. Anyways, we're going to review. This is one day of review of two-step equations because after today, we're moving on to multi-step equations. Yay! This is like one of my favorite things.
Super fun.
Love it.
Super fun.
So our learning target today is we will be able to solve two-step equations by using inverse operations. Please pause your video and write down your learning target.
In your notebook
In
that
your
you
notebook
should have.
that you should be
right now.
taking notes in.
Yeah, I know. Go look through your backpack. Hurry up.
Yep, keep going, keep looking. There it
there it
is.
is.
Yeah, okay. So now that you've got your notebook out and you're actually following directions of our videos, write that down. Pause the video if needed. Oh boy, that was a little small. I'm sorry. Let's zoom you in. That's as good as it's gonna get. Okay, so here's the key to solving an equation. First off, we have the example of 3x minus 7 equals 8. So that's just going to be our example through the problem. Step 1, describe in words how to form the expression 3x minus 7 from the variable x. So in words, I would say the first thing that happened to x, by using order of operations, I would multiply by 3, then subtract 7. Do you notice how they took out the equal sign? You're looking order of operations, how would I have solved that? I multiplied by 3, then I subtracted 7. Step 2, write the parts of step 1 in the reverse order and use inverse operations. So
before it was multiply by 3 and then subtract by 7. I'm literally just going to flip-flop those.
Flip
so I
it.
put add 7 and then divide by 3.
since adding is the opposite, the inverse operation of subtraction, and dividing is the inverse operation of multiplying. Yes, I want you writing these steps down. Then in step 3, we've got apply to step 2 to both sides of the original equation. So we literally just take this part, this add 7, then divide by 3. I'm going to add 7. What is negative 7 plus, or subtracting 7 plus 7?
Say that again.
Negative 7 plus 7.
Oh, 0.
0. That canceled that out. So what's 8 plus 7?
15.
15. Now I've got 3x equals 15 left.
Right.
Now I looked here. I have to divide by 3. Okay. Divide by 3. Divide by 3. What's 3 divided by 3?
1.
And 15 divided by 3.
5.
That means 1x equals 5.
And notice how the 1 isn't there. Technically you can write it, but once you get to algebra, you don't need to be writing it because it just looks silly. You don't need to represent the 1x. It's already 1x.
Because 1 times x is x.
Right.
So that's how you're going to do it. I mean, this is pretty simple. So let's look at an actual example of us doing this for you. Whoa, I was already zoomed in. Let's zoom out a little.
Okay, this is an X, by the way. It looks like a V.
I have goofy looking X's. You'll see them go from this to that. And they're just, fair warning, my X's go a little crazy because I think it's fun to write. 4x plus 11 equals 19. So we said in step 1, what did we have to do?
We need to make sure that we cover up that part. Yeah, we're looking at just the expression.
Okay.
And we want, how would I solve this? I would do 4 times X. So I would
multiply by 4.
And then my next step would be to add 11.
Then add 11.
Okay.
Cool. So that was step 1.
Okay, the next step, according to our rules or our algorithm, our process, is to reverse these.
Okay.
But you're also going to do the inverse. So instead of adding 11,
The inverse of adding
is subtracting 11.
subtract 11.
Okay, and then multiply by 4, the inverse is division, so it'd be divide by 4. So notice how the multiply turned into divide, and you flip-flopped it, and then the add and subtract.
Okay, cool. Now, all we have to do is write down our equation again. And then do this. Okay, so first thing I'm going to subtract 11. So subtract 11 from both sides.
Whatever you do to one side, you have to do the other. See that equal sign? It means that whatever you do to one side, it has to be done on the other.
And do you guys see how I'm lining this up? Please line them up. It makes it prettier. It keeps it in order. Even the original, they lined it up to keep things in order.
Well, actually, they skipped that step.
Yeah.
They skipped the plus 7. This is not okay with me. You need to make sure that you're showing your steps
this way.
And you'll know why later, because when we get to multi-step equations, if you are skipping steps, it's going to get crazy.
So now I can actually see, 11 minus 11, that's 0. It canceled out. 19 minus 11, I'm left with 8. Bring down what's left. So 4x equals 8. Now I look here, it tells me exactly what to do. Divide by 4. So divide by 4, divide by 4. That left me with 1x equals 2. Did I have to put that 1 in there?
No, you don't
So
have
it's just
to.
x equals 2. That's my final answer. That's it. I wrote myself a whole way to do it.
Yeah, so make sure that if you have any questions, you write those questions down.
Yes. The reason I really like this way of doing this is because it makes fractions easier. So, what was our step 1 here? If we cover this, equals 13, first thing.
My first step is to do 2/3 times z.
Okay, so multiply by 2/3.
And then to add 1.
Add 1. Okay.
Okay, that's our first step. So the second step
Is going to be, what's the opposite?
The opposite of this. Not the opposite, inverse.
Inverse,
The inverse.
subtract 1,
And then the inverse of multiply is to divide.
divide by 2/3. Okay, cool. That sounds pretty simple, doesn't it?
So just rewrite your equation.
So I need to subtract 1.
From both sides to be equal.
That canceled out. I'm left with 12 equals 2/3 z.
Okay,
Now-
just so you guys know, now right here, when we subtract, you don't necessarily have to put the 0. If you do, it just makes your equation look wonky. So just bring that down.
I just cross it out because it canceled.
Right, that's exactly right.
So now I have 2/3 divided by 2/3 z equals 12 divided by, 2/3. So 2/3 divided by 2/3, when I multiply by I multiply by the
Well,
reciprocal. That's
isn't
the word I meant.
anything divided by itself is always going to give you 1, though?
Right, I'm just showing them that
Okay.
so that they can see that equals 1. So that's just going to be 1z. And then 12 divided by 2/3, when I'm dividing a fraction, multiply by the reciprocal. So 12 times 3/2. Put a fraction here. 12 times 3 is 36. 2. What's 36 divided by 2?
18.
18. So
Is
z.
it 18? Yeah, it's 18. I can't do math in my head real well.
Me neither. Z equals 18. Now that made that fraction so much easier when I did that, because when I looked at that original problem, I went, oh my gosh, there's a fraction! But all I'm doing is dividing by that number. Writing these steps simplifies it all for you.
Yep.
Okay.
And we have one more.
R minus 11 divided by 3 equals -7. So what was the first thing that happens to solve for R?
I would have to subtract first.
Okay, so subtract 11. Then I would
Divide by 3.
divide by 3. Did that just simplify that problem for us?
Oh my gosh, yes.
So much. I totally forgot an I in divide.
Nobody noticed.
Okay, I did. Now when I divide by 3, what's the inverse operation of dividing?
Multiplying by 3.
So multiply by 3. Then
Add 11.
add 11. So with my original problem, I had R minus 11 divided by 3 equals -7. I'm going to start by multiplying by 3. So multiply by 3.
And whenever you multiply by a whole number, you put the 1 under it. So that's why we're doing that on this side over here.
Which these actually cancel each other out. So I'm left with R minus 11. If you don't understand that, please come see us. Equals -21. Now I said I had to add 11. What's -21 plus 11?
We're going to subtract. So there you go, -10.
So R equals -10.
Yeah, this right here, if you need help with that, come see us. It's really important to know why that works, but it works.
Yeah. One cool thing about equations is you can always check your answer. I always recommend it. So you can plug that R equals -10 in here and find out that.
Let's do it real quick, just on
Yeah.
the side so they can see that.
So we've got -10 minus 11 over 3 equals -7.
If it does not equal, then something's wrong.
Yes.
So let's check to see.
So -10, keep, change. I get -21 over 3 equals -7. -21 divided by 3, -7 equals -7.
Whew, we got
Do
it
you
right.
see how that became -7 equals -7? That means we did everything
We
we were
just put
supposed
check
to.
up here. That way
So-
they see what we're doing. This is how we check our work.
I always love to go, woohoo, I got it right.
All right.
So that's two-step equations. Simple, right? All you got to do is write those steps and you'll be wonderful and amazing. we've got a lovely end of our video. Oh, what happened to the smiley face? There it is. I hope you guys have a wonderful day and you understand two-step equations. Come see us if you don't.
Google it.
Google it, check it out, read your book, something to that effect.
Peace out.